Pacific ministerial leaders, high-level political climate champions, and heads of delegations are gathering in Belém, Brazil, with climate action front of mind. More will arrive in the coming days as the annual global climate negotiations known as COP30 get underway. Marking 3 decades of tracking sustainable development and a growing climate crisis, host President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has made it clear action and ambition are the key criteria for attending. His Amazonia COP for Forests is branded as an implementation COP focused on delivery. To help drive that, Lula has appointed 22 Brazil-based thematic envoys and formed a VIP climate group, naming former New Zealand Prime Minister Dame Jacinda Ardern as special envoy for Oceania.
It's about that role. The chance to work alongside the region that I love and that I call home. That was the most appealing part of the role.
She's one of 7 international envoys.
One of the really exciting opportunities is to start thinking thoughtfully about what are the oceans, what's the version of some of the protection and preservation packages we've seen, the incentives to preserve rather than exploit. How can we replicate that for the oceans? And we've got some great examples in the Pacific already, not least, of course, Niue's marine conservation bonds. How can we scale that up for the benefit of the region?
Among those welcoming the move is Papua New Guinea Governor of Oro Province, Gary Juffa. He says it's a good move at the right time, a signal that Pacific priorities will be heard at the highest level.
The forests and the oceans, they all go together. You know, they're like the yin and yang of nature. It's time for us to have a discussion about the future. We're holding on to the natural resources or natural environment that's sustaining this world. And that's the future, that's the hope for the future. They've got to come to the table and have a discussion on how we're going to work together to continue to maintain these natural resources so that we can have a future where we are all relevant.
On Brazil's forestry partnerships with Papua New Guinea, however, he notes there's still work to do.
A good discussion so far. It's disappointing to note, though, that a large number of developed nations have not turned up. You know, if they're as concerned as they claim to be, they should be here at these type of events. You know, and we stand behind President Lula da Silva and his suggestions. This is about generating revenue or income from standing forest. It's a wonderful idea, a concept that can really change the way things are happening in terms of deforestation.
And from the host nation, there's a shared belief that global climate action must also value local and ancestral knowledge.
After all these years of negotiation, and indigenous people are showing that we can work together, we can work with ancestral knowledge and modern knowledge. So I think this time it's time to unification and start to work together.
That call echoes across regions, and Brazil's new Oceania envoy has made it clear her mandate is to strengthen the same principles in the Pacific.
My view is that the best thing that I can do is, first and foremost, ensure that at every opportunity the Pacific is able to use the strong voice that it has, and that I will simply amplify that where I can. I do still believe that one of the best things that we can do right now, alongside getting on the agenda the ambition gap with the NDCs, is actually get COP into our region.
Dame Jacinda Ardern says she's encouraged by the growing support for an ocean COP to follow this forest COP.
Australia hosting in partnership with the Pacific would not only be an opportunity to put in headlights the impact of climate change in our region, it's also a chance for us to put forward positive messaging around the core role of oceans. They are our great stabiliser. Preservation and protection of our oceans should be at the core of the climate agenda rather than at the sidelines. So not only do we have to, of course, hold on to COP30 being a place for important discussions on climate finance and NDCs in 1.5. Let's look to the opportunity that next COP could potentially bring.
Ensuring the Pacific's voice remains central to global climate decisions. From COP30 in Belém, I'm Lisa Williams for the Pacific Leader.